What's up, YouTube? This is Clayster making you guys a YouTube video. I'm actually here. I'm finally here. Sunny California. Just came from rainy Seattle, cloudy Seattle. You know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been to Washington, you know it gets a bit overcast there sometimes. But speaking of overcast, let me launch right into this vlog for you guys. I know it's been a little while since I've uploaded one. You know, I did the UMG one the other day, and I don't have my computer yet here in California yet, so I can't stream for you guys yet, but I will be able to stream here in the next two days. Maybe by this weekend, hopefully, I'll be able to get some videos uploaded for you guys. Or not some videos, but some streams going for you guys. So basically, went out, took 2 days off, went and saw one of my favorite bands in Colorado for 2 days prior to the Seattle trip for the Destiny release for Bungie. And then you know, flew straight from there up to Washington, met up with the homies, and you know, we were gonna do the whole skydiving thing. We all met up there. You know, I think it was on Monday. We woke up like 4:30 in the morning, went out to the airfield like an hour and a half away with a couple of the Red Bull guys, the Optic guys. We were all planning on jumping, I think, except for, you know, like Hector and Big T. I don't think Bose was jumping either, but Matt was, and so was I don't think Scump was either too, but everybody else is on board. And we get to the airfield, and the sky was just really bad. You know, we stuck around for a couple hours. I think we stuck around actually from like 6 o'clock until like 11:30 or 11:45, maybe even later than that. I honestly like kind of fell asleep just like laying there because, you know, we woke up so early and we were just sitting around waiting, so I kind of fell asleep for a little while. I don't know exactly how long we were there, but then we went, you know, to Bungie Studios afterwards, played some Destiny, talked to some of the developers, some of the guys inside Bungie, met a really cool guy who's the lead multiplayer level designer, one of the cooler guys, and then actually a couple of the Optic guys had to leave to come to Cali early, so they left the following morning, I believe, or they might even left that night. You know, we didn't do too much since we woke up so early. I was running on a little sleep, so, you know, went to sleep. Woke up the next day to try again. I know Scump and Big T left that morning sometime, but me, Flame Sword, and Proofy met up with the Red Bull guys and a couple of the Bungie guys and headed out to the airfield again. You know, because we were shooting this video, you know, this video. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If you guys haven't, go definitely check that out. You know, I'll put some links in the description or all that stuff. But the video that Red Bull is doing on our jumping thing is pretty cool. They've already released the first part with Proofy and Flame Sword. It's really cool. You guys should check that out. You know, so we went out to this airfield again to try again. The skies were kind of cloudy, but I forgot to mention that we were there with the Red Bull Air Force. If you guys don't know who that is, definitely look it up as well, because those guys are some of the craziest and coolest guys I think I've ever met. They're really intense. You know, they've done like 19,000 jumps. I know they were telling me that their accuracy competitions, like they're the guys who like parachute and do all like the wingsuiting and stuff for Red Bull. Their accuracy competitions, or they jump from 13,000 feet and they land on a quarter on the ground. That's how accurate these guys can get. They said there's a 3-centimeter sensor that they have to touch when they land, or you know, it doesn't count. So that's pretty crazy to me that you can fall 13,000 feet and land on a quarter on the ground. You know, so that's just how good these guys are. And, you know, they were doing some crazy stuff because they can jump basically whenever they want to. So they were doing crazy stuff when it was overcast, jumping from like real low altitudes and stuff. You know, pulling chutes like later than they should. And, you know, it was really cool seeing you know, the professionals do what they do up there, because I never really looked into it that much. You know, I knew there were professionals, but I didn't know like what exactly made them a professional. You know. And they're all really cool and great guys. You know, they talk to me about every aspect of it. You know, I'm sure it being their profession, it gets a little old here. And, hey, how'd you get into it? How many times have you cut away, or, you know, all that stuff. But they, you know, took it all in stride and were really cool about it. So thanks to those guys for, you know, taking us on board and showing us the ropes. So we waited for a couple hours at the airfield on, you know, the following day, and then we ended up being able to jump. So I'll get into that with you guys. You know, we suited up. I got my jumpsuit on. Got the harness on. I was flying tandem. I couldn't do it solo because I hadn't done enough jumps, so I was just doing a tandem. I met my guy who's going with me. We ended up getting on the plane, flying up. I had a camera guy, one of the Red Bull guys, and then my tandem instructor with me. Each one of us had as many people, like one guy filming us, one guy tandem except for Flame, and then one of the Red Bull guys, you know, like partying around us, like going around us, giving us high fives, swirling us stuff. So getting up there was probably the most nerve-wracking part. You know, the whole time I'd been ready to go, like not even thinking about it. Like, yeah, good job, let's go skydiving, all this stuff. And when we start flying up there, that's when it starts getting like, oh shit, like we're about to jump out of this airplane right now, this high up in the air. And so we get up there. It takes about 12 minutes to get up there, and there's this whole process you got to do when you get up there to get hooked to the tandem instructor. And then, so when you go to get out, or when you go out of the airplane, when the window or the door opens, that's when things get real, and the air starts rushing in, and it's just like, oh no, that's an insane feeling. And then to get out of the airplane, you go to the door, and then you go one, or like ready, set, and then on go, you just go. And so I get there, and I go ready, set, and as soon as I hit set, I'm like, oh no, 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 like, you know, just start, like, it gets ultimately real, like it's gonna happen. And then you just tumble out, and that moment when you fall first out of the airplane, there's like there's no sounds or anything. You're just free falling because the wind hasn't picked up yet, the airplane's already way past you. There's about 2 seconds where it's just silence, and then it's like you're just tumbling, like free falling, and it's the craziest feeling in the world. Like you're not thinking about anything, you're not even like you can't even think about anything. You're just stuck in like this state of like, and then you just start. Then the air picks up and it's, and you start fucking, you know, maximum velocity or terminal velocity, I think it's called. And you're going down, and then you flare out, and then you like sit there, and then the Red Bull guy's like going around me, give me high fives, and then like he grabs onto me, and we start doing the twisting thing where we're like spinning on each other, and we're spinning, and then he pushes me off. And actually at one point I was wearing my glasses and then goggles on top of them, and the air got under my goggles and started pulling my goggles off, and the goggles are attached to the helmet, but my glasses weren't attached to anything, and they're the only pair I have, so I had to like reach back up and like hold them on, and then as we're falling I put my head down, put everything back on, like tightened it harder as we're falling, and then the guy pulls a chute, and then he's just like shoo, and you're just floating down. And that's about a minute and a half of floating, which is even crazier because you can like look out and see everything. And when we were falling, you could actually see Mount Rain, or I think that's how you say it, Mount Rainier, like sticking out of the clouds, and there's like a layer of clouds, and then you just see this huge mountain sticking out of it, and you could just, for the whole time we're free falling, you could see it before we went you know, below the cloud level. And then floating down was pretty cool. You know, I'm not sure what they're called, but it's like really sharp turns in the air with your parachute. You're almost like parallel to the ground, and then you like swoop it down, and you like go really quick, and then your parachute catches you. It's kind of like a swing, and that was pretty fun too. So, you know, all in all, I'd say it was a pretty awesome experience. I would definitely go again. I'm actually think I would be less scared going this time now, because it's way more scarier to jump off of like bridges and jumps, or like quarries and stuff into water, because you know, if you land wrong or something, you can like hurt yourself or like knock the air out of you, or you don't know what's in the water. But in the airplane, the perspective is so warped. You're so high up, you know, 13,000 feet. You're so high up that you can't even like really comprehend how high you are, how fast you're going. So it's a lot easier to just kind of just roll out of the airplane than it is to like take that step over the bridge and into water, or you know, off of a cliff into some water. So yeah, you know, got into California yesterday. You know, we've just been hanging out with the Red Bull offices today. Going to get all our stuff set up tonight for our Xboxes so we can play our league matches tomorrow. I think all of them have their computers here, so they're all going to be streaming, but mine will not be here till Friday. So hope you guys can wait. If you're not, well, tough luck. And I hope you guys, you know, check my channel out for some more vlogs. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Much love. Peace out.